Right, let's talk AI. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon, and thank you for being here today. Like a lot of you, I thought I'm almost not going to make it to an ADA this year. And I was just telling myself, so what? Let me just send an AI agent to do this presentation and be done with it. And just as I was thinking about it, I realized that's not going to be doable. Agents and AI are all here to help us do our jobs better, but it's not quite there where they can totally take away our jobs, at least not in our industry. If you're a software engineer, you should probably be a little more worried, but not in our industry. So, what is it that Tekion is thinking about from an AI perspective? Jay set the stage really well for us in the previous session. We're going to take things a little deeper and talk about what is our thought process for this technology, for this humongous thing that's happening in the industry altogether, and how is it that we want to make our customers successful in this very area. Our mission statement is we want to make our dealership customers to be able to accelerate their revenue and redefine efficiency for modern dealerships. That's our goal. Any session that you walk into these days about AI, to just a mirage of terminologies that people throw around, it's so much technical jargon. But today, we're making a conscious choice to stay away from that. We're going to talk business. We're not going to go into any of the technical terminologies or any of that. We're just going to talk about how is it that AI is going to help you make your customers more happy and in the process make some money out of that. When we say Tekion AI is about accelerating revenue and redefining efficiency for a modern dealership, that's a three-prong approach for us. Firstly, maximizing customer value. That could be through increased customer acquisition, conversion, and retention rates. When we say value, it's both the value that you provide to your customer and the value that you get out of your customer. That's what we mean by customer value. The second thing is increase the sales per employee. Steve was on stage about an hour ago, and he was talking about how the number of car even the best salesperson sells hasn't really changed in 75 years. We're talking about productivity improvements everywhere in all sorts of industries. We heard this from our dealership customers as well. But really, the total number of cars that the best salesperson sells hasn't gone up or hasn't changed at all in all this time. So, how can we make that better? It's mainly because your salespeople are doing a lot of other things instead of just selling. We want to take that out of their day-to-day work. We'll be talking about Tekion AI agents and how it is there as an executive assistant for everyone at your dealership, taking away all the busy work from them and giving them time back to actually do the selling. Finally, it's about increasing operational efficiency. We are thinking about end-to-end workflow automation, which will make all folks within your dealership productive in whatever it is that they do day to day. So whatever it is that we're building at Tekion, as part of the Tekion AI branding, if it doesn't fall into one of these three buckets, we just kick it out. It's not even part of our roadmap. We don't do fancy here. We do things that try to bring business value to our customers. So a little bit of what is happening in the ecosystem before we actually double click on how is it that we are thinking about AI. In the past, and when I say past, I'm talking about 50, 60 years here, you had physical files and you had technology expertise, people with technology expertise who could, pull these files, file specialists. Well, I should scratch that. People who could just pull files, file specialists. We're not even talking about technology at this point. So you'll grab these files, you will consume the information on these files, and then you will act on that information. So it doesn't matter whether you're an accounting person or a parts person or a service person, you all went to the same room which had all the files. You would grab the files, you would consume that information. That changed when we actually digitized files, which is largely where we are today. We removed the file specialist. We put an application which has a fixed front end, and anything you consume today is through an application user interface. So we have solved the further left, but what we have on the right side continues to be the same. You still have a static interface for you to consume your information. It doesn't matter what your role is, what your expertise is, it's a static interface. And any information you want, you cannot really get it because you can only get whatever information that's available for you as part of the application. This is where things are starting to change. You're going to have dynamic multi channel interfaces. We're already seeing people using all sorts of user interfaces to actually get access to that information. Once you have access to that information, you don't have to be the one doing all the work. Meet Tekion AI agents. Tekion AI Copilot is your 24/7 AI agent. Think of this as now everyone at your dealership having an executive assistant who can consume information, act on that information, make recommendations for you so that you're more efficient at doing your job and you get the time back to actually do whatever brings revenue to the business. That's how we are going about thinking the overall framework for our AI strategy. While we're doing all of this, security is first for us. You know, our secure platform delivers AI with enterprise grade security. Your data is yours to own, so we're not training models on or generic models on your data. It's trained on your data, and you get to keep these models and data. Privacy is a priority for us because we know it's a priority for you. And we're giving you the ability to audit all of this. So, which user has access to what information, what application, what data, everything is audited. There's a triage available for you to go take a look at it. So, what does a framework look like? The goal with AI is to be able to delight customers and deliver operational excellence for your dealership at the same time. So, we're taking all the data that you see on the far left here, which is the ARC data, the CRM data that you have. Those are all specific to your dealership. We're combining with external market feeds and data as well. So, consumer shopping data, market data, vehicle attributes, vehicle merchandising information, data that we get from our automotive OEM partners. So this is a rich set of data that we bring together and we build what we call the automotive knowledge graph. This is truly the knowledge graph and the database that's powering Tekion AI. And this is what's enabling us to have multimodal AI agents. It's powered with data intelligence. Both of these together enables you to provide personalized customer experiences for your customers. And along with this, you get things like advanced analytics, end to end. All of this is going to make sure that you're running your dealership at a very efficient form factor and so to speak, operations. For you to be able to do all of this and be good at it, you cannot go with a solution that's a bolt on, especially when it comes to AI. You need to have access to all your data. You need to have access to everything that's happening end to end at your dealership, and you need to have them all in one place so that it's effective, which is precisely where Tekion and Arc do really well. It's a one stop system, it's a soup to nuts solution for everything your dealership needs. And AI is embedded into every product area and also between the handshakes that happen between these product areas. I think it's best we take you through some examples. So I want to have Justin walk you through a couple of examples of how we have embedded AI into every product area and between the handshakes that we have for each of these product areas.
Awesome.
Justin, how would you think?
Thank you, Shiva. Hi, I'm Justin. I'm Vice President for Product Innovation and Design, and really excited to talk to you about how we've been integrating the Tekion AI into your product workflows to maximize productivity and efficiency at your dealership. Tekion has, from its inception, thought about machine learning for many, many years. And with the evolution of AI, we were really excited last year to announce our CRM Pro capabilities, which really help you increase customer engagement. What we've seen with the technology, including our smart communication, is better crafted emails. And we're really seeing a lot of personalized engagement that's more relevant to consumers that are interested in services from your dealership. Second, we're really trying to save time. And you can see this where we have Carl Black Automotive saving 30 minutes per employee through our lead summarization technologies. Instead of having to read every single communication, all of the service history of the customer and loyalty that they may not be doing today, and the vehicle that the customer is interested in, the AI, Tekion AI, is able to assist the salesperson and sales managers in having a comprehensive summary, and we'll show you that in a few minutes. So in our AI lead snapshot technology, we've been able to condense everything in real time to include recent communication and engagement, the actual customer history and life cycle from service to sales, and also detailed vehicle intel from your actual unit that the customer is looking at, and be able to pull that all into one view as they're communicating with their customer. And we take all of this lead snapshot information and pull this into our smart communication. So now we are actually able to personalize with one click all of the communication that that salesperson has and integrate concise, personalized responses as well as relevant links, for example, to vehicle information or credit applications. And so we've seen tremendous opportunities of productivity and be able to really have a more personalized, better service experience in sales. So here's a quick example on the top where you can see how there might be a very templated response to a particular question that you would have. And with AI in smart communication, we're able to make the actual email communication extremely personalized and relevant by talking about specific vehicle information and specifically the ask from the customer and incorporating that back into the response. I now wanted to shift our conversation to our recent announcement today on our Tekion AI Copilot, starting with service. And we're really excited to show you a little bit in depth of the process and then have a customer come on stage to talk about their experience. Service AI Copilot is really, again, designed to have and enable your dealerships to have a great consumer experience and making sure that they understand and have a better understanding of exactly what their vehicle condition is to help you better sell essential services to those consumers. So let's go through the process of a service repair. So when consumers or customers bring their vehicle in, the technicians do a very detailed inspection of the vehicle. And we all know it's quite detailed with a lot of specific information from tread depth measurements to other conditions on the vehicle that they may not understand. And then it's the job of the advisor to then take that information that the technician provides and communicate that in a way that customers actually understand the benefit and the value. What you can see here is that oftentimes, uh, you know, technicians put a very generic standard statement inside of the recommendations. And what Tekion Copilot is able to do is with one click, actually be able to replace and suggest a personalized, relevant description that is more relevant to the customer so that they can understand the value and the benefits of having this essential service performed. And what we found is that it's actually much more impactful for consumers to understand what service they're buying, but also understand the benefits of that versus a very generic statement, as an example. And we actually take that information and convert that directly into the consumer portal. And so what you can see here is that instead of having to look through a 90-point inspection form, we summarize that in a very concise and clear way so they can understand their vehicle condition, just like as if they were talking to your advisor. And we further extend that so that actual service recommendations have clear benefit and value. So it's not just about the service that you have to perform, but what are the risks involved with not performing that service and why it's important to actually get that service completed. And we've seen that it's actually really changed the way you can actually have your teams and people engage with your actual consumers during the service experience. So now we're super excited to bring on Finley, who's the CEO of Ewing Automotive Group, and to talk about his experience using our co-piloted AI.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you. Appreciate
pleasure.
it.
Yeah, thanks, Finley. So Shiva's going to kick us off with a few questions, and then we'll kind of talk about some of our AI products.
Finley, first of all, thank you so much for being a great partner with anything new that comes out. And I think it's in your DNA to actually also make sure that it's adding business value and you're staying on top of the technology stack. I want to ask you about how you built that DNA, but that's a conversation for another day.
Fair enough.
Specifically about AI and the industry in general, what do you think will be dealership headwinds in 2025, and what's going to be the impact of AI for dealerships in general?
Yeah, so I'm actually very bullish on 2025. I think, nationally, I think the SAR is going to increase. I think the economy is going to keep continuing at a good pace as well. So I find that consumers are going to be willing to spend a bunch of money, and if rates keep coming down, that'll be helpful as well. But the one place where we are going to struggle is that our expenses are going to keep going up, and margins are going to keep compressing, coming back down from the highs in 2022. And so if your expenses are going up and your grosses are coming down, then obviously that's not the best place to be, right? Your net profit's going to shrink a little bit. And so I think dealers are going to have to find ways to be more efficient internally. You can't waste time. You can't, recreate redundant information. And so I think that the AI copilots are going to really help us cut down on lost time and allow my employees, especially my customer facing employees, to more actively engage with their consumers. So I think AI is going to be a big part to help us become more efficient internally.
Great, great. Thank you for that. Also, taking that a little further, there's a new generation of buyers entering the scenario, right? Like if Gen Z coming in, even the existing consumers buying patterns have changed.
Right.
What's going to be the implication of all of this as a dealership for you? How do you plan to adapt to that?
It's 2025 at this point. We don't have the luxury of just comparing ourselves to the other car dealerships down the street. Our competition is all retail, all modern retail. And if we're not willing to adapt and become a modern retailer in 2025, then you're going to lose customers forever. And so everyone's going to have to get to the point where their dealership operates in the same way that, Domino's has transformed their business, and Apple and Amazon and everybody else has transformed their business. Everyone's going to have to get there at some point, so you might as well be first to the game and keep your customers longer.
Great. So you spoke about efficiency in operations. You spoke about retail changing altogether. Do you see AI being the technology bridging it, or do you think there needs to be more things added into the puzzle as we figure this out?
What's great about Tekion is, having a seamless end-to-end platform allows us to be more flexible for our customers in their buying journey. In the past, with legacy systems, with bolt-on products, there's really one way to transact. And for so long, we kind of forced our customers into a box of how they had to transact. And the fact that we can be more flexible is allowing us to serve our customers' needs better. And I think that's what really is the most important driver in trying to adapt. And so, where AI is also going to help us as well. It's great to have Steve Greenfield up here earlier talking about how, the average salesperson still sells 10 cars like they did 70 years ago. Either we never changed expectations with our customer or with our employees, or we just never made the process to sell a car easier. And I think it's probably a mixture of both, but I think we're finally getting to the point where AI is going to able to help us consume a lot of information, display it to our staff in a way that's digestible and meaningful so that they can better serve all their customers and take care of more clients at any given time, resulting in more sales.
I have a lot more questions to ask, but in the interest of time, Justin, is there something that you want to ask?
Yeah, I know, the dealership business is very operationally heavy, a lot of people. How do you see AI fitting into that from a talent perspective to run your business?
What's great is that AI is going to help us bridge the gap between our, 30-year veterans who absolutely know how to sell recommended services on the drive and know how to sell a car with our very green employees at the same time as well. And so, it's always the joke of uh, when you're looking for somebody, the first question is, well, do they have this OEM's experience and do they have our DMS experience? And AI and Tekion both are helping us sit here and say, we don't need to look for DMS experience. We don't need to look for OEM experience. We're going to search for cultural fit and customer service. And we can expand our reach, expand the number of people that we can bring into our business. I mean, I think our industry is fantastic. It's an awesome business where people can make a ton of money with like low education levels at the same time too. It's just the best opportunity for a ton of people across the country, and AI feeding them like important data at the right time to turn around and serve that up to our customers is just going to allow me to find the people who are going to best take care of my customers.
That's wonderful. And extending to that, what really wanted to hear from yourself, you've been piloting our service AI for the last 30 days. Tell us about your experience. What's your team been telling you? How have customers been reacting to the actual technology?
Yeah, it's great. So Service AI has been a fantastic product for us. So we actually had one service advisor who was inputting recommendations into Chat GPT before Service AI came. So he was glad to be able to cut out that step. But it's awesome because, you know, um, from a dealer's perspective, managing consistent communication and like accurate messaging to all of my customers is almost impossible. But to have an AI agent in an easy way communicate complex situations to my customers so that it's easily digestible for them is really reassuring to me. So I've found that we're having more recommendations approved. They're being approved in a faster amount of time, and customers aren't having to reach back out to us for clarification on messages we've sent over to them. And so Service AI is going to continue to be a value add for us in the future.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to the partnership continuing on, and thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Finley, thank you for being a partner and a great friend. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, everyone. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you.